If you are on a path of spiritual growth, spiritual discovery, seeking to deepen your ancestral connection and communication with your ancestors, or you are going through an awakening and want to know more about spirituality, this page is definitely for you. I'm Khosim Kulumanzini, the medium, as some other people call me. Other people call me as Father of the Nation. This depends with different relationships that I have with the world. And I'm also the big sister. I'm your voice of reason. So I bring another teaching today. And I know a lot of people really need this. And they are seeking for clarity and guidance as to how they need to go about it. Ne? So today we are going to look at the offerings that we get to do or that ancestors love. There's this today's topic, offerings that ancestors like. Everyone has something that they love, and when you give it to them, it will smooth things up, it will lighten the situation, it will melt their heart. I give you, and it will raise more awareness or bring you guys closer because you give them something. This is also what ancestors do as well. Ancestors have stuff that they love, they have things that they love, and we need to do or give them those things to broaden and tighten the connection and communication that we are trying to build with them. Right? So we are going to look at 4 things. I like working with numbers and I like keeping things short and sweet. Attention span, it's something that's very important to me. So we're going to look at 4 things that you need to do to broaden and tighten your connection and communication with ancestors. These are all offerings that you can get to do. Different people, different cultures and traditions use different methods. This is just based on my expertise and experiences as a spiritual healer and how my ancestors guide and my spirit guides. So this is for educational purposes. You take what resonates with you, and what doesn't resonate with you, you don't have to do so. So we'll start with the first one, which is food and drinks offering. These 2 we do a lot as African people from different countries, different tribes and cultures and traditions. We usually do food and drinks offering, and the food and drinks offering has a different stuff that entailed in it, drinks and foods. And usually what we would do is we would prepare traditional food. So simple, it would be bab, white bab, or it would be mabele. It would be sometimes semp. This is other people's preferences. There would be vegetables such as cabbage, gravy, as well as spinach, or other preferences as well, less seasoned and less oil onto them, because when we eat, we are not eating alone, but we are also eating with our ancestors. So more than anything, this is not about our liking, but it is about our ancestors' liking. And there would also be traditional beer that needs to be brewed. When it comes to traditional beer, there's a way that you need to do it. There are rules that needs to be followed. The dress code that you need to follow. You need to be celibate for that period when you are doing umgomboti. You need to be pure. You need to set your intentions. You need to open your heart as well, because not only ancestors are going to drink it, people around will drink it. So it can either make people sick or it can nourish people inside. And then there's also different alcoholic spirits that can be gin, vodka, whiskey, brandy, non-bottled beer, Lion, Hansa, Castle, those ones that ancestors might require you to build. They could also ask for cold drink as well, and juice. because we cater for different types of ancestors. We are not focusing only on one set of ancestors. Imagine 2048 ancestors or 4,100 and something ancestors that we have inside of us, and we just solely focus on one specific ancestor. That would be like committing suicide. But either way, story for another day. So yeah, we get stuff that they like, and we eat the food, we drink the alcohol or the beer, the traditional beer, but we pass that first to communicate with them. We offer it first by spilling it on the ground as you communicate with them and having a conversation with them. Basically, when you pass, it's like you having a conversation with an ancestor. So if you are talking to someone else that is alive, someone else that's listening to you right there and then. So that's what we get to use. There's also milk and honey that other people use. Milk and honey, it's used to represent nourishment and sweetness and life. Milk and honey, it sweetens things. Milk is also white, it's pure, and it's nourishing. So some other people also get to use that. So those are the three things. And then second, the natural elements. We have natural elements that we use specifically to build connection and to offer to ancestors. Each ancestor has a way that they want to be recognized, and they want you to connect to them in that specific way. So this one also has three. It's candles, herbs, and plants, incense. A lot of spiritual people do know this. So with candles carry energy. Candles carry air. It carries fire. It carries water also in it. So there's three elements that are found in a candle. When you pray or connect using a candle, you need to set their intentions. You need to cleanse your candle as well. So the candle will always depend on the intentions that are set prior to using it. This will depend to one person to the next. Hence why you would find someone else that can actually use a white candle to harm other people. And it's because they have set the intentions to that candle specifically to harm the next person. And then there's people that will use a white candle to bring purity, enlightenment, and light into their lives, or those that are around them, their space, and their ancestors and spirit guides. So different intentions for different people. Also with candles, there's different colors, and different colors have different meanings as well onto them, depending what is it that you're praying for, what is it that you're asking for, what is it that you are doing, and then you would use specific colors to correlate with the task at hand. I will do a video based on the candles some other time, because there's a lot that goes into lighting a candle and using it. And then secondly, it's herbs and plants. If you're a plant person like me, this is definitely for you. We consume plants, smoke plants, cleanse our bodies with plants, drink plants or herbs, to purify our energy, to strengthen ourselves, to attract, to amplify the attraction that we already have, and to amplify the protection from the spirit guides and ancestors. Different herbs have different purposes, but also we need to be aware. So a herb carries two energies. You can either heal or harm with it, and a lot of people are not aware of that. So herbs have specific purposes, and there's specific reasons why we consume herbs, and how they get prepared as well. It's very important. It's important that your herbs remain pure and they get stored away where there's a lot of food traffic, or if there's a lot of food traffic, then it means you need to constantly cleanse your herbs and plants. There's also plants that your ancestors would require for you to place in your house or in your shrine. That is also to build connections with them, or trees that you need to plant in your yard to strengthen the connection and for easy accessibility because of the roots that spreads out underground. So the tree connects or bridges the two world, the ancestral world and our world. We have incense, we have impepo as well, depending on your preference as well and your ancestors' preference. That is something that is very important. Some people will use impepo and it will be absolutely okay for them, and some people do not need to use impepo. This depends from culture, traditions, and ancestral likings from one person to the other. So this is not a one size fits all. I know specifically with me, there'd be times where my ancestors would want me to light impepo, and there would be times where my ancestors don't want impepo. Even if I'm going to do a ritual, I would literally forget impepo. And by now I know whatever it is that they don't want me to use for that specific ritual, whether it's mine or it's the patient's one, they would always make me forget it. So that is something that is very important that we need to pay attention to. Impepo, it's not for everyone. And you can also use incense. This is to invite their energy, their spirit within your space. It's also very important that when you light these things, you set intentions and you call upon the right spirits or the right ancestors that you want to be present and to show themselves and help you out specifically. So make sure that you clarify that before lighting that incense or that impepo, and don't make a mistake of not mentioning or excluding certain spirits or ancestors. Ne? Because those are two dangerous things. Incense and impepo opens up for spirits. So setting intentions is very important. So now, number 3, my personal favorite. And yeah, this one I really love it because I love writing a lot. I sometimes want to communicate with my ancestors, but I can't articulate myself. Sometimes I get lost in words and in the language barrier. Sometimes I go blank. When I communicate with my ancestors. So writing has really helped me out. So it's handwritten letters or journals. It's very important for us to journal because when you write, you also build energy and connection. You get to write what's in your heart and what's in your mind. So you need to also balance it. You need to express your gratitude as much as you're going to ask for guidance, as much as you are going to release your frustrations to your ancestors or to your spirit guides. You need to balance it out. Every day or complaining and you're shouting every single day, but you're not even grateful for some of the things that they have done. You don't recognize their hardship and their protection into your life. It's fruitless. The second one is personal items. Ancestors have items that are very close to them. This can be artifacts, sculptures, pictures. It can be ointments that they will ask you to have those stuff in your house or in your shrine or in your yard. Different places would always carry different meanings onto it. These are the stuff that we get to connect to our ancestors using. There's also jewelry. There's also beads, right? There's mitamo as well, the wool strings. There's shells that we use. There's bones that we get to use. There's stones. There's soil. These are personal items that we use to connect to our ancestors and to invite their energy in our space. There's also coins and cowrie shells. Coins, depending on the year that coin was specifically manufactured, and then coins from different countries as well. Depending on Itlozi, there's also the shells. It can be cowrie shells, it can be other forms of shells. It's not only limited to cowrie shells, but cowrie shells are the ones that are mainly known for connection in African spirituality. But there are other types of shells, and those shells will be given to them by your ancestors for different purposes and reasons behind it. Sure, of course. And then over the last one, I'm running behind time now. But the last one, it's energy-based offerings. This is also one of my personal favorites. Play isgubu, play the drum, and see me how I get excited like a little child. Love ukugida. And once I get into trance, I get in that moment, I don't want to stop dancing. There is something so unique about the African drums or the spiritual drums, as well as the stomping of feet, the singing and the clapping of hands, because this is how we connect with our ancestors. This is how we connect to different spirits from all over across the world, the universe, spiritual realms, and dimensions as well. Here's a short story that I want to share with you guys. I remember when I discovered that I have a spiritual animal in Gongong, Kogong or Veldebeest. That was a representation of my ancestors. And I was meditating during that time when I discovered that. When I discovered that, what was happening is that I had a head of wildebeest charging to my direction. And there was something about that vibration and frequency of the stomping of the wildebeest foot that raised a vibration inside of me, and it took me straight into trance. It was able to evoke idlozi inside of me, and it was followed by me gigita dancing. And whenever I gita, that awakens, the wildebeest awakens. There's always stomping. There is a connection between our feet and the ground, hence why also spiritual people they walk barefooted to reconnect themselves to their ancestors, to Mother Earth, to the universe, to the cosmos. The grounding is very important. The food is very important. It has also different chakras underneath, or energy points, energy centers that connects to the entire body. So walking barefoot also brings healing. Another teaching for another day. So there's also music. Different musics evoke different spirits inside of us. How those songs get sang, the instruments behind it evokes spirits inside of us, because African people are people of rhythm. We're rhythmic culture. Our tradition is all about music and dancing. That's what we know best. Like, we just move. Give us a beat and we're on it. The second one is prayers and affirmations or meditation. Different spirits require different communications. Others require prayers, others require affirmations, others require meditation. This also depends with your preference and your knowledge and experience as well. If you can meditate, or you can pray, or you can do affirmations, it will always be different. But I usually say, do what works for you. Do what works with your ancestors, not what the other person does. Prayer might not, the traditional prayer might not work for you. There might be a way that you need to pray. Prayer is a conversation between you and your spirit guides and your God. It can be a normal conversation, and you build a connection from that point. You don't need to be dramatic. You don't need to do a 12 minutes or 20 minutes prayer. It can be short and sweet. It's always accepted, and say whatever it is that comes to your heart and your mind during that time when you're doing prayer. And meditation is also one of those that other people love. I also love meditation quite a lot. I've seen the works of meditation, and it has really helped me to get to where I am. I am spiritually grounded today because of meditation. I've received answers that I wanted because of meditation, and this is because of it gets to tap deeper than other forms of communication and connection, and you get to awaken your higher self to be at work and to function. You align your spirit, your soul, and your mind to work together as a unit. And the other one is acts of service. There's also people that are called within the family that are called to actually help and uplift or upskill their family members. There is always that go-to guy or go-to woman that will always go over and beyond in helping family members. And that's also another one, acts of service, or you as an individual helping other people, that is given back to idlozi, uphilisa idlozi lasekhaya through other people and other spirits. So yeah, this was very interesting. I feel like I can still go further with this. If this resonates with you, I'm sure it resonates with another person, and I hope it was educational that you enjoyed this and there was something that you were able to take from today's teaching. Mine is just to bring enlightenment and to bring clarity and to teach about African spirituality or spirituality holistically. Never mind African, but we start with ourselves before we can progress to other nations or to other worlds. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with other people. Let's build a vibey community. Let's build this, guys. Let's do this. I'm your holistic healer. I'm your medium. I'm father of the nation. I'm Jose Mkulumanzini, the medium. Get a Lesedi, Shewe, Makos.